Hi, now we're going to talk about creating a workflow rule. In our class for 422, we hadn't had an opportunity to talk a lot about workflow rules, but if you take a look in your book on chapter 9, page 314, it talks about how you can create a workflow rule to create an automated response that's triggered by Salesforce. For example, you can create a rule that assigns a new customer record, for example, when a new sales manager gets into a new territory, or for example, if there's a very large order that's placed in a particular sales manager's territory, you can set up a workflow rule that triggers the response to understand when that happens. These rules, of course, can change, but it simply allows you an opportunity to develop a process that you can use. So we're going to demonstrate what that looks like. As always, go to trailhead.salesforce.com and we're going to launch our playground. When you're launching your playground, typically where we always would go is this little cog here, and this cog here is going to be the same place we are going to go in this video, and we're going to connect with setup. Once we click setup, the rules say use create, but we're going to go here in quick find and we are going to type in workflow, and you will see workflow rules here. On workflow rules, I want to spend a little time talking about what this is. So what is workflow? Workflow automates the following types of actions. So for example, you can set a new task that actually assigns a new task for a user or a record owner. You can set up email alerts, find fields, or send a secure message using an outbound message system. For example, in addition, workflow can assign these tasks, for example, to a person 1 week or maybe longer than that. It can send sales managers alert messages that tells them about a particular order or deal. It can change the owner's field, for example, in a contact to check on it before it expires. It can trigger an outbound API message as well. Each workflow rules consists of criteria that causes the rules to run, immediate action that execute when a record matches the criteria, time-dependent action that the query when a record matches the criteria. So you can read all of this information here about what happens when a workflow rule occurs. So I'm going to hit continue because I've already read that. So now this page talks about configure the organization's workflow by creating a workflow rule, and it tells you, in addition to this, each workflow rule consists of these items. We just talked about these criteria, the action, and when you want it to happen. So we're going to connect with new rule. And new rule, we're going to find the object. Remember, in Salesforce we have all these standard objects. So I'm going to go into the object here and I'm going to look for contact. And I found it. So next I'm going to click next. In this area I'm going to type in information about the rule. So I'm going to actually type in the phrase updated contact with no space. And in the description, actually I'm going to put updated contact 1 because I already have one in here. And I'm going to put when a new contact is updated. Okay? And here, the rule will be you use evaluation criteria. So you can either use created, and every time it's edited, or created and any time it's edited to subsequently meet criteria. I'm going to use this last one here, created and anytime it is edited, just to see how we do with this. So now you go down to field, operator, and values. This tells you the rule, run this rule if the criteria are met. So in the field section, I'm going to do a down click and I'm going to find the contact for the mailing street. So this tells me that when the mailing street changes for this contact, it's going to send me a trigger. Operator is going to stay equals. So we're going to keep that there. And so values here, we're going to keep it open for right now. And we're going to hit save and next. So in the save and next rule, you can see that I typed in, we actually found contact mailing street equals null. The evaluation criteria is evaluate the rule when a record is created and any time it's edited. We're going to go down here and say, okay, we have workflow actions that's been added. So none has been added because we didn't add that. And now we're going to type and click, I should say, done. So here you'll see that the workflow rule updated contact 1 has been created. The description when a new contact is updated. The rule criteria is contact mailing street equals null. Who actually created this, which will be you. The object is listed as a contact and it gives you the evaluation criteria. And again, it tells you when it's modified. So this is how you would set up a workflow rule in Salesforce based on our Salesforce class 422.